Hi, everybody. I notice I've been watching some of my videos just to see how I can improve and what I can do. And I need to stop saying hello, 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 like a crazy person. Anyway, me and my sister went on a huge trip yesterday. Like, huge for me anyway, because you know me, I don't really travel well, but she drove, so. Anyway, we went to Milford. We bought a bunch of plants from a lady who was selling in Milford. Now, beautiful plants. She did a wonderful job. She's moving to Ontario, so she cannot bring her plants with her. We went, yep, we're going to Milford. We're going to pick up some babies. So, first baby I picked up was, it's an arrowhead. It could be a pink splash. Now, if you know me, and you do by now, you know exactly what I'm going to do to this plant. I feel like it's a healthy little plant. It's doing great, but it is extremely overpotted. Remember, a big pot doesn't mean a big plant. The plants develop their root systems first, then they work on their foliage. So I'm going to take my little shovel, and I'm going to just figure out what is happening in here. I want to see what the root system is actually like. And I mean, I'll use this pot for something else, just not for this baby. Okay. And it's exactly what I thought. Okay. This is the little syngonium. This is the pot it was in. That's not going to work. You're going to end up with root rot. You're going to end up overwatering, because then you water and it stays wet inside. Now this one hasn't been overwatered. She has done a good job. She's just not quite what I do with plants. Now, I'm going to reuse the soil because I treat soil as the medium for my plants, what my plants grow in. I give my plants nutrients. I don't need nutrients from the soil. The first thing I'm going to check is, because I'm reusing her soil, is I'm going to make sure no bugs fly out of it. Make sure it's a healthy mix of perlite. Oh, there's even some bark, so I know it is. Good morning, Sarah. I know it's a nice, well-draining soil. Now, I'm going to show you the pot size I'm going to put it in. And you're going to see the difference. Please don't overpot your plants. This is what it's going into from this. Yep. And it's even going to have to take time to even grow into this pot. So I'm going to put a little bit of soil on the bottom. Then I'm going to stick this little baby in there. And there is lots of new growth. There is. And gently. With tropical plant roots, you're going to go gently with them. And then you just backfill a little bit. And you're going to push the air pockets out. Pushing those air pockets out. Every time you transplant, you have to water. The roots have been disrupted. You have to water every time you transplant anything. In fact, I'm going to actually do 2 videos today, because I want to show you all the annuals I got. And if I do it in one video, we're going to be here for an hour, because I'm going to show you every one. So, there. It's done. I'm happier. And I even have a little cash pot to put it in. And that's my baby now. I'll water it after. I did bring water. I only water with room temperature water. I actually set water aside in the cupboard, room temperature, because actually I'm going to do it now because I want to show you how I do it. Room temperature water. I slowly go and make a mess sometimes, but I'll clean it up. Slowly go around, let it soak in. Let it soak in. I think this is a pink splash, but there's 47 varieties of syngonium that we can purchase. I don't know all their names. I'll say it's pretty. It's pretty. So I'm going to want that water to come through the bottom to make sure it's thoroughly watered. Excuse me. Okay. So I'm going to check that cash bowl later because it's going to be full of water. There's our first one done. So, second plant I got yesterday from the lady. If you've seen the big hopefully you've seen the big picture of the heartleaf philodendron I got from her. Gorgeous. So, because I decided now I want to collect syngoniums, guess what? I got another one. This one's bigger. But I'm still not convinced this is the right pot size for it. I'm not. It's really heavy, which means that there is water underneath here that has not been soaked up. So, same thing. I'll show you the top of that here. Isn't that pretty? And it's like... So, same thing. I'm going to take my little shovel. Oh, and I can feel some roots. Good. I can feel some roots that have spread into the pot, but you know what? It's still too big. I know this pot's big. It's just too much. I'm going to give it a little feel here. And this is my root system. Okay? Do you see why I don't want it in this pot? This is like a huge plant killer, you guys. Huge. These are beautiful pots, but it's just not what I want. Now, I've brought a couple pots up here to decide what I want to do. So I do have this one, and I do feel like this is a better fit because you want to have that 2 inches across and 2 inches down when you're repotting up. So I think this is what I want. Now, here's the trick. This is the pot I want to put it in. That doesn't look good, right? Morning, Sandra. So I brought my trusty tool, and I reuse my pots. This is plastic, so I'm going to mark a line here because I want it sitting underneath. I don't want to see the nursery pot. So I'm going to pull that out. I've marked my line with my knife. If I can find it here, right there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut down. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. I'm going to cut down, and it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it fits in the pot I want it to fit in. There. So I took the ridge off. I don't need this. And I've actually got lots. And look at how, I mean, it's crazy. It's a little wonky. But now when I put this in here, that's what I'm going to see. Okay, and when it's time to pot it up again, which it could be by next summer, I'm actually just going to fix this one because it's a little bit over the edge there. I'm just going to fix. Good. That's how I want that one. I very, very rarely plant in a pot. Very rarely. So, and we're going to put some on the bottom. And this is good soil. I've checked it over for gnats. Now I'm going to nicely place this in. It's tropical roots. They're not like annuals. And in fact, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to transplant an annual. Because I got carried away. So, this is perfect. And I want to leave this a topsoil line because I don't want, when I water it, I want the water to go in my root ball, not over the sides. So I always leave myself some extra space right here so that the water can go in. Now, I'm going to put this in here. How beautiful is that? Now I'm happy with the pot size. Maybe by next spring, I'll take a look at this, and I'm just going to water it, go around, and now's a good time to take off any dead. Like, I don't want the plant to waste energy. Of course, I did have scissors, but I got fingernails too. I'll plunk it off, and I want it to go down. I want to thoroughly water that. Okay, so here we are. What do you guys think? Good? Much better, hey? There's 2 plants done. Ooh, we're getting some work done. Now, I have found, you guys, a Hoya cartesii. This is a rare find. I've never seen one in real life before. And you guys know that now I've been to greenhouses 4 hours. Look at this girl. She does not look like a Hoya. No, she has little spades, it looks like. She's got some variegation. This is a Hoya. But, do you think she's overpotted? I do. I really do think she's overpotted. There's literally, I feel like her roots were just plunked on one side so she would hang this way. This one's going to want full sun. This is going right, boom, right in the window. But I got to check and see what's going on in there. Hoyas hate their root system disturbed. This is not something I want to do, but this is a plant that I'm going to keep forever. So I'm going to have to check it out and see what she's doing underneath. I just have to. I can't leave it like this. I would love to be able to. Can't. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, I'm going to go straight down. I'm feeling for roots. And I'm right. Oh, why am I always right, you guys? Don't overpot your plants. If you want help with your plants, the first thing I'm going to ask you is there drainage? Do you have drainage? The second thing I'm going to look at is it overpotted? Oh, my poor girl. You're okay. Look at you guys. She is hardly rooted in here. Oh, my baby. Look at. Oh, and then in this great big pot. Oh, no. The roots look healthy. It's going to be okay, but that is... Ooh. Now, what am I going to do with you, my girl? See, I'm not even happy with the pots I brought upstairs now. I'm going to look. Oof. And all the root... Oh, okay. Ooh, breathe. This is all that's on it for roots, you guys, which is fine. It's okay. Cuttings come from other plants. I know that. They need to root. Now, what am I going to do? I have this baby, and I think it's going to have to start off that small. I think it's going to have to. In fact, I might have cut that down more. Am I going to? You guys, I'm going to have to do it. Because, yep, I'm cutting some off. This is even too much. And not that, oh, I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much soil. You're going to overwater it. It's going to suffer. If I want this plant to grow and have its best life, I'm going to have to figure it out. Because these guys, Hoyas live in the crotches of trees. So they have, their soil is leaves, like moss. So I'm actually cutting that pot. I cannot put it in a huge pot. Even though that pot doesn't look huge. Okay, so I'm going to fill it half up. Now I'm going to take every cutting. And in fact, as I go, like, okay, I'm old. I got to take my glasses off here. I know it's going to be okay. But I am going to actually hydrate every root as I put it in. Every one. You're going to think I'm crazy. This is going to take a long time, but you're with me, right, guys? I'm going to hydrate every root, as well as then I'm going to water it down. I actually have never done it to this point. I've never had to. Okay. So now I have a chance to make a full head out of this. I have a chance to make it go around the whole pot. And I'm being very gentle with this. There's some dead in here, and that's okay. It's actually trying to root along, which is normal. Totally normal. Now I'm going to put this one here. Right here. And I'm going to just hydrate every root. Now this one doesn't have any life in it. I'm so glad I looked at these plants because, and they do tend to get caught together. Or caught together. I teach at the school, aren't you happy? They can get stuck together. Now I'm just going to put this one right in the middle, and I'm hydrating it. Everyone's getting a little bit. Now this one, I'm just going to stick right in there. Ooh, that's dry, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay. Now, I'm going to, hopefully you can see, I'm going to take some soil. Oof. I would have been heartbroken very soon about this one, I think. But you know, everybody does everything differently, and that's okay. It's just for sure, I'm going to do it my way. If I can, and there's no reason I can't, it's going to get done my way, especially with such an important, to me, plant, right? Like, everybody's plants speak differently to them. Now, I'm going to make sure there's soil around those roots. Make sure, I still have to get the air pockets out, because as I water, what'll happen is water will get in those air roots and it won't water the plant properly. I can't have that, so I am going to just a little bit more on this side. I hope you guys are interested in this. I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to shake it a little bit and get that dirt down in there. Oh, my poor babies. I'm going to give it a push. I'm going to give it a little bit of a push. And that looks pretty good. Now, the pot I have for this is I do plant in these, but I also use them as cover pots. Like, I am happy with the amount of drainage in there, but I think for this guy, I think I'm going to plunk him in here, or I might not, because he looks deep. What am I going to do? I might need to get a coffee cup, actually, and then I'm going to spray the top, because I'm going to clean those leaves off. And I've started putting a little bit of alcohol and dish soap in my spray bottle. Just a preventative. Like, I don't want to deal with pests. I mean, I do. That's way better, isn't it? Way better, you guys. From this pot to this pot. Check your plants out, you guys. In fact, I'm not putting it in this pot. I've got a little tray here. I'm going to set it like this until I can find a small little cash pot, maybe a coffee pot, or coffee cup. Maybe I'll do that. So now we're going to give it the drink, because you saw how dry those roots were, and that's okay. I'll fix it. Okay. Later I'll get a little bit. There's our baby, full sun. And actually, these take forever to grow. Forever. And that's probably why you don't often see them in nurseries. It's because they're just not a prolific plant. Okay, moving on. I found this succulent yesterday. I loved the red. And the more red it is, or the more sun it gets, the more you're going to get this color. And this is a Peperomia graveolens. Now, I'm going to check its root system. I didn't. I was so excited to grab it. And look at perfectly dry, perfectly well potted. Love it. In fact, it's not even getting a drink of water, even though the soil is completely dry. These are plump. They're plump and delicious with water. When they start to pucker a little bit, that's when you water your succulents. Oops. Now, this might just go in here. Yep, you can just sit in there. I try to use everything I have. Okay, now, woo! I found a black lipstick plant. I did. Actually, Charlene found it. She's like, look at this. I'm like, what? A black lipstick? Like, you're kidding me. The blossoms will be orange. I better take the price tag out of this one. $17. Which, you know what? I can feel it's well rooted. Oh, but I have pots I can put this in. I can feel, well, we're going to look. If it makes a mess, it goes on the table. Nope, it's not ready. Not ready, you guys. But hoof, is that ever wet? Rah. Do I like it that wet? Nope. That's not, and it's possible, well, I know they just watered it in the greenhouse, but that just spells trouble for me. So I'm going to actually fill this in just like this. And just like that. Black lipstick. Like, you should see the patterning on these leaves. I'm going to try to see if I can really get in there and show you. And then the back side. Like, it's phenomenal. Now, I need a cover pot for it, because you know I'm keeping it in this nursery pot. Let's see what this one can do. It's pink. It's fantastic. Will it fit? Nope. I'm going to have to look downstairs. That's okay. We're still playing around. We're playing around. What do we have? What do we have? Well, look at this. That could be used as a cover pot. So, it looks like there's drainage in this, but don't be fooled. I'm going to show you what's actually at the bottom of this. Nothing. This is not a tray. It's for looks. This is no good for drainage. And you can see this soil is sogged. I knew that. When I picked it up, it was so heavy. But you know what I'll actually do? If I'm going to use it today, which isn't a bad idea, because, I mean, you can use pre-moistened soil for transplanting and things, and that's okay. I really like to control how much water is in my soil. So, where was I going with that? This one will fit in here, and I could use it. I'd need some rocks, and I'd have to wash it up, and that's okay. I probably have something downstairs I can use instead of that. So I'm going to show you my yard sale finds. Okay? Oh, it's going to be long videos today. I hope you guys are in it to win it, guys. Okay. I found this. Like, it was full of potpourri, but I thought, oh my goodness, my little calathea would love it in there. The humidity would be fantastic. I'm going to paint it brown because it suits my house better, and make sure this isn't in direct sun. It'll cook it. But this is going to keep that humidity up for this calathea. And that's the trick with the calatheas, is that they want humidity. They're tough. Another yard sale find. Check this out. Now look at, who's not going to put a plant on here? You guarantee I'm putting a plant on here. Absolutely. This is fantastic. Like, that's happening. Oh, look, $2. So, you know, when something's $2, you might as well get 2 of them. So I got 2 of those. We actually went yard sailing in Star City, which Shirley and I have decided that that's where we're retiring. Okay, houseplants. Keep on track. Now, I bought, for some reason, I think I can keep calacaceas alive. I don't know who I think I am, but I'm going to try. I found this one, which, this is sun to part shade. Well, helpful. So what is it? Sun or part shade? So for me, the more sun something gets, the quicker it grows. Morning, Sherry. And I don't need, these are going to be my houseplants. I don't want them ginormously huge. Okay, so when I bought this one, I seen there was damage on here. I did. And I always tell you, I wish I knew where my scissors were, but I always tell you, start with a healthy plant. It's true. Start with a healthy plant, but don't be fooled by a couple of dead leaves. This is normal. This is nature. You're going to lose leaves. Don't be fooled. If you've watched my video about, I bought a banana plant from the co-op a couple weeks ago. And I showed you, I said, you know, there's some damage on this plant. There's some damage, but I wasn't scared because I could see all the new growth was healthy. And guess what? All the new growth was healthy. So this one has pushed out 2 leaves that are perfectly fine. No brown edges. It's doing great because brown edges can be from, and this is why it's tough to tell you why your plant has crispy edges. Underwatering, overwatering, sunburn, pests. If you're losing leaves from the old growth, that's normal. Don't panic. If you start losing leaves from the middle, like right here, time to panic. You probably have a pest. You're going to have to look at what's going on. Now this plant right here, I could see how healthy it was. It wasn't waterlogged, even though it looks unhealthy. This leaf is done too, and I will get my scissors and get that off later. But look at the fresh stuff. I'm like, and I felt it, and I'm like, ooh, that feels good. So this plant was like $12.50. So for $12.50, I'm going to go for it. Like, I'm going for it. Now this one, I'm actually going to put in this pot. Today, I'm not sure if it's going to be today. I like to see some roots pushing out. I would want to see them coming out of the bottom. This one, because I believe calicaceae are bulbs. I believe if I got in here, I would see some bulbs. And I'm not ready to disrupt that right now. I'll just throw this into another cache pot, wait. Sometimes there's reasons that you have to repot in the winter. Do it. If it needs to be done, do it. If it's February and you're like, oof, my plant is suffering, just get it done. Just do what you have to do. Okay, so that is my first video. Now the next one is going to be phenomenal. I'm going to get cleaned up. I want to talk about Four Seasons Greenhouse by Star City. I have never been to a greenhouse like this before in my life. When I walked in, the plants were so healthy, so full in bloom, so well taken for, that I literally heard like music. I was like, and I didn't, of course I didn't have my camera. I wish I would have done a live in there. You guys, you cannot believe this place. And I've seen a lot of greenhouses, lots. And this one, it was just, you're not going to believe the stuff I got. I bought for my mom, got her a tray full of stuff. I'm like, oh, this is for your hummingbirds. This is for your blah, blah, blah. And unbelievable. Okay, so I'm going to clean up my mess. I'm going to pull out the rest, my annuals, and then we're going to go through them. Okay, so I'm going to see you in about 10 or 15 minutes. And I hope you enjoyed that video. Whenever you buy plants, check them. Don't assume that they're okay. Is this a healthy plant? You darn rights it is. Is it going to be healthier? Mm-hmm. Is it going to love this little pot? Yep. It can live its best life now. Now I'm happy. And actually, I knew that when I bought them. I'm like, oof, that's a pot and a half. I knew it. But I knew the plants were healthy. I knew she was the plant lady. I was hoping she didn't overwater them. And she didn't. They're perfect. They're just not how my care routine is different than other people. And when I give you advice, it's only from my own experience. You can do whatever you want. You could have bought those plants. You could have said, oh, right on, set them out, and they'd have been fine. It's just not how I take care of my stuff. So everybody's different. I take tips from everywhere. I decide what works for me. Okay, see you in about 15 minutes. Okay, bye.